Welcome back to Roundup Reddit, your channel for captivating Reddit stories. Today, we're diving into a variety of experiences shared by Reddit users. Story 1, Bra Dilemma. In our first story, a Reddit user opens up about their decision not to wear a bra due to health reasons and the frustrating misconceptions they face. Let's hear about their journey to reclaim comfort and confront societal norms. I'm so tired of people thinking my choice not to wear a bra is for their sexual gratification. I understand that wearing bras is the norm in my country, and seeing the real shape of a boob might elicit memories from other times one has seen a boob like that. However, I literally can't wear bras. At some point in high school, I started getting really bad chest pain. I tried a bunch of different things, but realized it only ever happened when I had a bra on. I don't know why, but I do know it almost never happens now when I don't wear bras. The chest pain comes back if I put anything remotely tight around my rib cage. Other sizes and materials do not change this. My situation is either extreme pain or no bra. I was embarrassed and ashamed for years. I would wear 3 shirts just to cover up the shape. It was way too much of a big deal over the natural shape of my body. I'm older now and I give fewer fucks. So I just wear what I want like anyone else, just with no bra, you know? But every once in a while I catch someone staring or I hear some rhetoric about women not wearing bras to show off, and it just makes me so angry. I'm not showing off. I'm not looking for attention. Being comfortable should not be a crime for women. And now that I work, I've been too scared not to wear one. Like, I'm genuinely scared HR will talk to me, and who knows if I'd lose respect from my coworkers. Ugh, it just eats me up inside. Story 2, Sexist Antics in School. Our next tale recounts a high school experience where casual sexism among friends took a toll on one student. From intrusive behavior to unjust accusations, this story sheds light on navigating boundaries and standing up against entitlement. I thought the size of my breasts was a problem, but I realized it not. Getting an experience of sexism and my pals' male entitlement to my chest, off my chest. TW, groping and shaming. I started writing this as an answer to a question elsewhere on Reddit, but then realized that it wasn't actually about what the OP was asking. I used to think it was partly about my breasts being big, but I realized that it's entirely about my pals at the time being sexist assholes who were feeling entitled. I also realized I've never shared this story with anyone, and I'd like to get it off my chest. I was 16, at a new school, and had a classmate, let's call him Emil, I had a crush on for a while, but wasn't confident enough to do anything about it. We became buddies, though, and at some point, it started being normal that sometimes when we were hanging out, along with other friends at school or a cafe, he'd stick a pen in my cleavage, throw candy down there, poke my breasts with an object, stuff like that. I had larger than average breasts and often got unwanted attention, but he was able to read into when I was okay with his antics and when not, so I was cool with it and sometimes liked it. The problem was when it turned out that our other pals felt like since he got to do this, so should they. When we were 19, so after 2 to 3 years of knowing each other and his antics being normal, during a night out on a graduation trip abroad, a schoolmate groped my breasts, and without a thought I slapped him. He said something about thinking it was okay because Emil was always touching them. I said hell no. Just because it's okay for someone else to touch me, that doesn't mean you can. Later, I was a bit proud I hadn't pointed out that Emil didn't really grope them, because that's irrelevant to my argument. I walked away, shaken, but determined not to let this ruin my evening. A little later, he found me, acted really sad about it, and asked that I forgive him. I told him I wasn't going to make anything out of it, but that it was a really shitty thing to do, and I didn't want to be around him right now. Again, I walked away. He came to find me again, but before he could finish the first sentence, I just said, "Dude, I told you I don't want to be around you." And I walked away again. He followed me around and soon cut my evening short and just went home. Not only due to him pestering me, but also mutual friends who kept asking me to go ease his conscience, tell him everything was fine, because apparently I was ruining his evening. The morning after, I thought it would be over, but no. Now the pals I'd hang out with along with Emil had heard about me being groped the night before and the slap I reacted with. They started drilling me for answers on why Emil was allowed to touch my breasts, and they were not. He was elsewhere during this conversation. It sounded like they saw me as being very unfair all this time, allowing him his breast antics, but not them. A long time before this conversation, a couple of them had attempted to poke my breasts in a similar manner as he used to, but I had blocked it with my hand. They didn't try again. I didn't think more of it until then. I was just dumbfounded, really, at a loss for words for a moment. Then I tried to explain that somehow it just had become that way, that I felt it was platonic coming from Emil, but uncomfortable or sexual coming from others. They then insisted it must be because I had a crush on Emil. It seemed that in their mind that would be a poor reason. I told them that yes, a couple of years earlier I did have a crush on him, but not anymore. But also, that wouldn't change anything. It was still my body, and they were not entitled to it. They were not happy with my answers, and basically just tried to shame me for letting Emil do this. Even though he wasn't interested in a relationship, neither was I. But they couldn't believe that. During the conversations, I was decisive and answered back, but it really bugged me afterwards. I started wondering if I was the one in the wrong, if I was being slutty, or if I shouldn't have been pissed off at the guy who groped me. Looking back, it's so dumb to realize that at the time, many of our schoolmates schoolmates, male and female, saw Emil as a bit of a douche, but these pals of ours as good guys. Emil, who loved hitting on girls, but to my knowledge, respected boundaries and backed off when his attention was not reciprocated, was judged, while the nice guys, who felt entitled to my body and shamed me when they didn't get what they wanted, were seen as good. After writing this, I'm thinking this incident probably played a large role in why I tried to hide my breasts for so long. I'd avoid low-cut tops and try to go for loose-fitting tops that wouldn't draw attention to my breasts. A while back, I thankfully finally stopped being ashamed of my breasts and started wearing whatever I liked. Story 3. International Women's Day Celebration Switching Gears. We explore an eventful International Women's Day celebration at a retirement home. What happens when one male nurse finds himself in an unexpected spotlight? Stay tuned to find out. Sexism in the workplace. I work in a female-dominated environment as a nurse in a retirement home. Today, they were celebrating International Women's Day and had a huge staff party where they handed out gifts to the employees, along with a nice little cupcake. There are posters with inspirational quotes by famous women all over the facility, along with colorful pink and purple streamers. All the women are dressed in pink to show solidarity, and there was even an announcement by the CEO of the company over the speakers. International Men's Day, of course, is never acknowledged in the slightest, but that does not bother me. It's a workplace where about 70% of the workforce is female, so it makes sense somewhat. What bothered me is that the CEO visited the facility and was walking around in a group with upper management, handing out gifts and cupcakes to those who couldn't make it to the party. I was having a conversation with another nurse when the group came in, which completely shifted the conversation. The CEO handed out gifts and cupcakes to all the ladies in the room. I was, of course, the only male, and I was told they are just for the women, which again didn't bother me, although it was a little rude. They began to discuss how oppressed women are and how special it is to be one, also bringing up the fact that women are so disadvantaged compared to men without even acknowledging how uncomfortable it would be for a man to be in the room, ranting on about how men are so privileged. I responded, well, not all men are privileged, only for one of the ladies to bite back, well, how would you know? You're a man, and then proceeded to list off some examples in front of a group of coworkers, which was fun. I then decided to back away slowly. I kid you not, this was how the interaction went. And I'm not sexist, although I'm sure some people would like to think I am after reading this, and I understand why they had that mentality. It's a day dedicated to women, why shouldn't they be celebrated? But on the same token, the equality they are pushing for was completely destroyed when they made me feel less than having a penis between my legs. I would consider myself a feminist in the traditional sense that being equal rights between genders. Oh well, that's my silly rant. P.S. I am aware that International Women's Day is not until Sunday, but my place of work decided to celebrate it early. Story 4. Reflections on casual sexism. Finally, we delve into the reflections of a Reddit user who's tired of societal double standards. From movies to personal encounters, join us as we explore the frustrations and observations of everyday sexism. I sometimes wish I was a man so I didn't have to think about sexism so much. The deal is, I just can't get myself to think casual sexism is funny. Like right now, I'm watching an old movie, dumb horror movie from the 1950s, and it's not exactly good at portraying its female characters, but I'm not expecting it to either, since it's one of those bad B movies, and the men in there are dumb as fuck or macho men. The problem is, I know that not everything has to get the "that's sexist" mark, like catcalling, women in commercials, or the use of only beautiful young women in movies. But still, it bothers me to no end because only I and many other women see it, but others don't give a shit. I know many do, but this is how I feel right now. One thing I remember so clearly was a conversation with my father. He's a very open-minded guy. He lives in a house with 3 women, me, my mother, and my sister, so he's not intimidated by that and so on. One time we were in India, which was not pleasant for me because my sister, mother, and I were stared at constantly, especially when we were bathing. I ended up bathing with clothes on. They sneaked pictures of us, and one time a stranger came into my room while I was only in my towel and wouldn't leave until I shooed him out. I talked to my father about these experiences, and except for the stranger, he later said it really opened his eyes because he didn't see any of this staring and taking pictures. He didn't know of it until I told him about it. I think you can joke about almost anything, like feminism, murder, racism, sexism, and other horrible things, but at the same time, I sit and think it's so fucking annoying that, for example, when I see actresses in movies and see what others write about them, they almost always start with, she's stunning, beautiful, sexy, and focus on their looks like half the time. In every single movie, guys seem to need to find the women hot to be interested in them, especially if there's only women in the movie. Why should I care about these douches? There is no reason. I should turn off the computer and do something better with my life. But I get back to it time after time. I have only one girlfriend, and the rest of my friends are dudes, and they're the most chill men ever. They hang out with plenty of women, they're understanding, and just plain nice. And then I go online, see videos, read things, and I just just turn into this bitchy, angry feminist, which is the worst feeling because I don't like being angry or bitchy. But sometimes I feel that men, in general, which I hate to say, just don't care. And Reddit isn't exactly the best place to say that, but if I say it on Tumblr, I know I'm just going to get answers from people that are even more angry, like permanently angry, and I don't like them. And I feel everything would be easier if I were a man, because then I wouldn't notice these things. I guess this is also why many men get pissed off when the sexism card is played because they don't see it the way many women do. Anyway, that's me today. Be kind if you answer. Too long. Didn't read I have one of these pissed off feminist days, and I wish I didn't care. Story 5, Exhaustion with Sexism. And finally, our last story for today is a heartfelt rant from a user who's simply tired of being a woman in a world full of sexism. From unwanted attention to workplace discrimination, this story highlights the emotional toll of enduring daily sexism. I'm fucking tired of being a woman. I'm tired of being stared at when I walk into stores. I'm tired of getting random dick pics. I'm tired of so-called friends trying to get me to cheat on my boyfriend with them. I'm tired of being overlooked for jobs because I have a vagina. I'm tired of the looks I get when I tell people I want to be a doctor. I'm tired of the copious amount of rumors spread about me because someone was jealous or I told them no. I'm tired of not fitting into clothes. I'm tired of playing games and having guys find out I'm a girl and then tell me I'm ugly or that they love me or try to be super nice. I'm so fucking tired of the people who say sexism doesn't exist. I'm tired of being sexually harassed and groped by straight and gay men alike. I'm tired of the girls that fucking ruin it for the rest of us. I'm tired of people assuming that I must love drama since I'm a girl, or that I'm special because I like games and rocks and tornadoes. I'm just a person struggling to get up every day. I'm in tears right now, fucking bawling like a baby. Just like everyone else, I've got baggage. It happens to be anxiety and depression. So tonight, after hopping on Insurgency, I was one of the MVPs. And you know what everyone said after they saw my picture? How ugly I was, commenting on the features of my face, saying I shouldn't play games. And it wasn't the first time I've been heckled in a game or doing something girls aren't normally doing. I'm just so tired. Edit. I just want to say thank you for all the kind words I have gotten. I truly appreciate it and cried a second time. Wow, what an emotional wreck I am. How is it that I can stay calm in utter disaster yet shed tears to simple words? Anyway, I made myself tacos. I feel a bit lonely and depressed, but with the help of kind strangers and time to think, I'm getting better. Again, I am most appreciative. Seriously. Edit. Whoa, hello front page. This is awkward. Nice meeting you again. You look good. Have you lost some weight? That wraps up today's stories on Roundup Reddit. Which story resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Reddit tales. Until next time.